Hi, in today's video I'm going to be covering the now playing script I showed you in a previous video, which allowed us to have desktop notifications for videos playing in YouTube, in Firefox and other browsers and video players. So if I press
In the last couple of
start this video and press a keyboard shortcut on my keyboard,
months, I've made several
I'll get a
videos.
desktop notification up here with the title, the thumbnail, channel, Firefox, and the status. Now if I switch back across here and come to a playlist, what I can do is, as I come through the playlist, I can navigate through each one, and it's going to show
I can't help but notice the research.
thumbnail and
Today,
title
I'm
that
going to make
corresponds to the page here. So you can see this is showing the thumbnail for each video in the playlist. Now, we can get this to work with MPV player as well, but the issue was if you play a video locally, okay, so if I play a video locally and run playerctl metadata, you see basically we've got a link to a file, which is the video file. We've got the length of the video here in microseconds, but obviously it doesn't have a thumbnail because it's just a single file. So what I wanted to do was actually get thumbnails working for local files in MPV as well as videos playing in YouTube. So what I did basically, if I move this across here, if I press a keyboard shortcut here, you'll see that we've actually got a thumbnail here. We've got the title, player and the player status, but there's no thumbnail for this video. Now, if I scrub across and now press the keyboard shortcut again, you'll see that the thumbnail's been updated because it's actually in sync with the playhead position. So what we're doing is using ffmpeg to extract a thumbnail from the video and the playhead's position as well. So I just come across here, see every time I press the keyboard shortcut, I can play and pause here. I'm actually getting a new thumbnail, and as it goes, you can see how all this has been updated to the current playhead's position. Again, and anything more interesting. Okay, there we go. So you can see every time I in their own way keyboard shortcut play and pause, it's taking a using ffmpeg to take a thumbnail and use it in the pop-up. So that's what I wanted to do basically, was not only have a thumbnail from the video playing an MPV, but also from the playhead's position, because sometimes you can't grab the first frame of video, it might be black. So you could say, grab something that's 10 seconds in, but it might be a video with long titles or something. So having that option to be able to come in here and actually have the thumbnails, but also have them dynamically updated, pretty cool. So the next thing I want to cover is actually cover art. Is video audio files can have cover art in them. So if I open a audio file here, this is a FLAC, so this is a FLAC file, but you can see it's got cover art. So what I'm going to do is open up ffmpeg and just show you using So if we have a look down here, you'll see first of all metadata, comment, cover, front, and what you'll see is there are two streams, an audio and a video stream. The audio is FLAC, and then we've got an MJPEG video stream, which is actually the cover art. So the point is that even though it's an audio file with an audio file extension, it's if it's got cover art, it's going to have a video track, and if it's got a video track, we can use ffmpeg to extract the thumbnail. So what I'll do now is open it up, and if I press the keyboard shortcut, you'll see we get the pop-up here, and extracted the thumbnail and scaled it, and so it fits in perfectly with the pop-up. So that's how we can also extract the cover art from a video. So let me just come back here. So what we've got is desktop notifications for videos here. So I just put that back into there and press play.
So you've created a strong and complex.
You see, this is grabbing the cover art, not the cover art. This is grabbing the thumbnail from the video. Whereas when we're doing it locally, we're actually generating a dynamic thumbnail. So that's it working in YouTube. Let me just close this. I hate it when it does that. Come back here. So the other thing I wanted to show you is a video launched. So this is a YouTube video playing with MPV player. I'll just give this a second to open up. And what I want to do is actually show you by running the playerctl metadata command here, playerctl metadata. You can see we've got a URL which corresponds to the video page on YouTube, and we have this art URL here, and that's a HTTPS link. So videos, YouTube videos that are opened with MPV after you set it up with mpris, which is needed for the playerctl command, and I'll show you that in a previous video, they're going to have a external link for the art URL. So if I press keyboard shortcut here, you'll see that I get the thumbnail for this video and the title and everything. So the reason I mention this is because we're using dunst for the notifications, which has an icon option, but the icon option doesn't work with remote files. So you can't actually use this link directly with dunst with the icon option. What we have to do is actually download that with curl. So I'll show you how we did that when I get into the script. So that's a remote file. I want to show you the wait for this to play. Okay. So if I want to play a CTL metadata and show you the metadata we get from Firefox playing a YouTube video, you'll see that the art URL is actually a local link prefixed with this file : / before the link to the PNG file. So that's the difference between a video playing in YouTube and a video playing in MPV players. The art URL is going to be different. So what I'm going to do is come across and go into the script. So in the previous video I showed you how you can get all this set up, how you can install the playerctl command, set up sxhkd for keyboard shortcuts so that we can trigger the script when we play and pause a video or move to the next item on a playlist. The dunst configuration file for the pop-ups, so you can style it and set the icon size, and also the now playing script, which I'll now go through. So what I'll do is go through this. First of all, we're creating a variable called metadata, And what we're doing here is running the playerctl metadata command with the option with the format option. And what that allows us to do is pull out various bits of metadata from the currently playing video. So what we've got here is title equals and then sort of square brackets, and then this is the actual variable. So title is going to be like the title of the video playing, so the YouTube title, or the file name of a currently of a local file. We got the artist. The artist actually corresponds to the YouTube channel if you're using it with YouTube. We've got the player name, so that's going to be like MPV or Firefox. And we've got the status, so playing, paused. And we've got the art URL here, so that's the thumbnail. Then we've got the position, and this only works with MPV player and not the videos playing in YouTube and Firefox. So this is going to be the playhead's position, which we used to create the dynamic thumbnails. And then finally down here, what we've got is the URL, and that's going to correspond to either the YouTube page if it's a sort of a remote video, like a remote YouTube video, or if it's a local file, it's going to correspond to the file path for the current video. Then what we're doing here is we're using all these variables to pull stuff out. So what we're doing is we're piping that metadata into awk, and what we're doing is we're saying the field separator is these square brackets, and that corresponds to this bit here. So this is why we're putting stuff in the square brackets. In a previous video I showed you I was like using cut and pulling out particular fields like field 1, field 2, field 3. This is a much better way to do it. So we can say like title equals brackets, and then we've got the variable inside the brackets. So we can use awk and pull out the stuff inside the brackets. But what we can also do is say search for like title, and then pull out the stuff by title. So we can say pull out title, which is going to pull out this, or we can say pull out the artist, the player, just by referencing it like this. So that's a really good way of being able to query all the metadata once, and then sort of put it into these sort of like little containers that we can then reference. So basically what we're doing here is we create an artist fallback. So if there's the artist is blank, we just put unknown. We capitalize the player name with awk. So if it's like Firefox, we capitalize it, so it's capital F. We get the player status, playing or paused. We've got the playhead position for the dynamic ffmpeg thumbnails. And again, this is only going to work in MPV player. And what we're doing is getting the URL, which is either going to be the local link or a link to a YouTube page or something. And basically in this section down here, what we're doing is we're checking how the link for the art URL starts, whether it starts with a file or an HTTP. So we're basically checking to see if it's like if it's a remote file, an HTTP link for the art URL. What we're doing is we're actually sort of downloading it with curl, and then using that as the icon. So if the video is playing an MPV and you saw that the art URL was an HTTP link, we use curl to download the thumbnail and then use that in the icon. Then what we also do is for stuff that doesn't have an icon, we've got a fallback icon image. And then what we've got down here is the ffmpeg code to extract the thumbnail. And again, what we're doing is we're checking to see if the URL starts with file or HTTP. Basically, if it's a local file for the video, there are several issues with the way playerctl actually constructs the link, because what it does is, first of all, it prefixes the link to the file with file : / which obviously isn't a valid file path for Linux. But then also what it does is it doesn't if the file name's got any spaces in them, it adds a %20 instead of a space. So what we need to do is actually, first of all, remove the file : / from the link to the local video, and then also remove the %20 and replace it with an escaped space. So we escape the space. So that's what we do. And we also need to remove the trailing new line from the link as well. So once we've done all of that, that's going to give us the link to the local video. And then once we've done all that, what we do is we combine the artist, the player, and the status into the body of the notification. And then we use notify send with the -I option, and then the icon or the icon fallback. So this is going to be either the thumbnail from YouTube or the dynamically created thumbnail with ffmpeg for a local video. Then what we've got is the actual title and the body of the notification. And that's the script, and what it does basically, it queries the metadata for the currently playing video. Then it stores all of the different bits of metadata in these variables, which we can then use. And then what we do is we do a bit of magic to actually get the URL for the art URL for the thumbnail, or create a thumbnail with ffmpeg dynamically by having to manipulate the URL that playerctl gives us. Once we've done all that and we passed through all this, as I said, we get down to the bottom, we can actually finally send a notification. So let's just go through that again, and what I'll do is just come across the Napoleon. See, I can't even spell my own thing. Is that it? There we go. It does me to pick a name that's hard to type and doesn't get any autocomplete. So again, if I press wait for this to load up a second. So when the video starts and loads up, we don't get a notification because not Firefox giving us the notification, it's us creating the notification with keyboard shortcut. So when I press play or pause, it's going to pop up a notification. Hopefully. And of course, now's the time it decides to throw a wobbly. So let me just refresh that. Hi, in today's video, I'm going to take a look at the player. So you can see here, we got that there. You can see for some reason it's slightly off. Got a space there for some reason. But basically, that's it playing in a single video. If I come across to a playlist, I go through each item of the playlist. Hi. You see how using the keyboard shortcuts, I can go through each item in the playlist, and every time I do that, it comes up with a pop-up showing the thumbnail for the video. So that's video playing on YouTube. Again, if I come across to here, I don't need to put that full screen, and I play a local video. Pick another one. I'll just go with the same one I did before. So again, whenever I press play and pause, I'm going to get the keyboard video. I'm going to be the thumbnail. I've got stuff like histogram, waveform, vector waveform runs RGB. So every time show it better here. And as it goes, the thumbnails being updated dynamically. And it will see here. Retain the peaks, so you can see there. Got a lot of yellow here, and that corresponds so forward through this. Yeah, so that's how we can get dynamic thumbnails from the playhead position. And so the way we do that is that there's a playerctl command that will actually give you the playhead position in hours, minutes, seconds, and luckily it actually works with ffmpeg. So what that means is that we've got the link for the local link for the video, and we can also get the playhead position. So basically it's just a matter of using ffmpeg to take that time option, and if I just come across here into the ffmpeg code, trying to zoom in a bit. So if I just come down here, right, what we've got here is this dash ss option and position, and this position variable actually, I'll come back up here. This is pulling out the position from the metadata. So if I come across to the metadata and you see position, using duration position with playerctl actually gives us the playhead position in hours, minutes, and seconds. So that's how we can then use that with ffmpeg to pass in the URL, which is the video path, and tell it we want to create a video. And what we're doing down here is we're using the scale option, and you'll see this -1 :84. What that means is scale it to a height of 84 and set the width, keep the aspect ratio. So it's basically scales a height to 84, which corresponds to 4 lines of text in the notification. And again, rather than trying to set a width, which might skew the image or anything, doing it this way basically means the height's always going to be the same, but the width will be different. But that's fine because it's not going to break the pop-up. So let me just come back across there. So that's how we basically can get the playhead position to create these dynamic thumbnails, which is really nice because you can see the exact point you paused actually in the video. And it would be possible to also add the duration and the playhead position to the pop-up. So you can see here we've got 4 lines here. For these videos it would be possible to put the duration and the playhead position, but what I'd have to do is figure out, YouTube videos don't have that option, so I'd have to figure out how to get them all to be the same size and stuff. But that's local videos, and again we got the cover art as well. So you can see here pulled out, you can see it's scaled to 84, and it's actually chopped off the black bar, so that looks really nice, fits perfectly. It just took a little while to figure out the line height of all the text and the image size. That's the cover art and local files, and again also coming across into another video. Okay, and this one doesn't have a video, doesn't have a thumbnail. So let me pick another video. Let's pick one from DistroTube. Okay, you can see here this is pulling out the thumbnail. So if I was to come across to YouTube, across to DistroTube, you see that's that video, the incredibly useful commands, and that's the thumbnail, and that corresponds to that there. So again, with videos like this, by playerctl metadata, you'll see that it's a remote link. And as I said, the dunst icon option doesn't work with remote URLs, so that's why we use curl to download the thumbnail basically, and then that allows us to have the pop up here. So what we've got is basically got it working in YouTube, and got desktop notifications working in YouTube, in the browser, in MPV. Also local files with dynamic thumbnails, and also local audio files, and being able to extract the cover art from the videos. So that's the update to the script, so it's a bit more useful for local videos, and I'll put all the links to the setup for the various bits of software that you're going to need to configure under the video.